What's up? Coach Capeau coming to talk to you. Just had our regional track meet. Made me think about a couple of things. Thought about track and field as a whole. I'm always thinking about that. Just as far as where we are as a sport. I know I'm still super new into the coaching, so always looking at coaching, looking at our athletes, what we're doing with our sport as far as the athletes to the coaches, which brought me to my main point of thought, which is there's not a lack of kids or athletes or people that desire to be great at anything. Obviously, I'm using track as the thing that we're talking about. But the thing that always shows up is the people and the kids that are usually becoming the greatest at it have coaches that match that desire. So those kids desire to be great. And then you as a coach or you as a parent or you as support staff at whatever you're doing, match that desire. And that tends to grow and manifest a larger desire. And that seems to create a whole culture that keeps on feeding into that level of greatness in the things that you do. So I've noticed that, when you look at football, there's not a lack of fired up football coaches. When you look at basketball, not a lack of fired up basketball coaches, or baseball, or whatever things that you typically see growing and expanding at the fastest rate. And then it makes me think about track as a whole. Do we have a lot of that just across the board? I'm not saying that we don't. There's some really amazing coaches all across. And then even at the high school level, there's fantastic coaches left and right. It's more questioning, do we show that enough? I don't think that kids don't want to grow up and be responsible and have great things in their life. I think that a lot of time there's just unfortunately a lack of examples of people that they want to grow up to be like, that have really great things in their life and love what they do and are excited about what they do. As far as when they're moving forward, are they chasing things and they have people beside them as excited about the things that they're chasing as they are? I think that manifests all the time, whether it be in the classroom or whether it be at a job or whether it be in track and field. It's making sure that we do set them up with the same level of desire, that's going to help them grow that. I don't think that you're going to have a coach that just doesn't really care, probably successful too much in any sport. I don't think that you're going to have kids, in the classroom that have a teacher that doesn't really care becoming really great at that. I'm not saying that they can't. We know that there's tons of those outlier stories, but I would say where are the more likely chances that they will be great? I heard of this thing called the Pygmalion effect before, and it talks about how that if just a teacher treats a kid as if they're going to be really smart on a test or on a class assignment, that typically they do better just because they get treated that way. So then I think as far as in coaching too, it's like, are coaches treating athletes like they're going to be really successful at things? And if they are those kids, actually exceeding expectations on that? Are they carrying themselves that way? Do they feel really well supported in their pursuit of those sports? Clearly, again, track and cross country coach, that's my passion, but I think it applies across the board. I think it applies just really in humanity is, are we always meeting people? And I'm not saying that I'm perfect at it by any means. I don't know if there is a perfect at it, but are we meeting people and are we setting people up to find the best fits for them? Are we making sure that we fill job openings at any, whether it be a math teacher or a history teacher or a track coach or a football coach, with people that have a real passion for it, a real desire to really create great outcomes through the people that they get to interact with. Doesn't mean that there won't be ups and downs. We all know that. I don't think there's any perfect situation, a perfect job or perfect, coach per se. But are we making sure that there is a strong desire to grow the people that they're around, especially in leadership type roles, whether that be at a business or whether it be in the classroom or whether it be at a sport? I think that things will constantly be met with growth when there's other people that want to grow it. I don't expect a garden to grow out in the yard if I didn't desire to grow that garden. I think it's the same thing with kids. I don't expect them to become great on the normal, because again, there are outliers, there are examples. I get it. We can go there with it. But without someone being there willing to grow that with them, willing to show them, willing to teach them, willing to educate them. And I think that we've got to do the best that we can to keep putting the best people in those places, to grow those kids, to give them those opportunities. I think that the kids will really thrive always in those situations. I don't care if it's ping pong, tennis, baseball, track, math. It's like, make sure that we're giving them the absolute best we can. Till next time.